It's already hit the button.
You fool.
My finger slipped on a timer. It already went.
So yeah, so
I'm out of my element, guys. I don't have an intro for this one. I don't have no what is up,
You
everybody.
you don't even
It's episode
have a
0.
proper intro for the other ones.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What is up, everybody? Hello, welcome to the episode.
So
That's a
so
welcome.
use that, but instead of playing
not gonna
pod,
what
say,
is-
no, I definitely say don't use the what's up, everybody.
I'm not. That's very specific.
Excelsior!
There you go.
Are we allowed to use that word though?
The
Holy
Powerpuff
word.
Girls.
It's a word.
Oh, yeah.
What's
What is the name of
Holy schmamberoli, it's the Panel Pals.
I just thought it was, you know, like part of the intro, right? When we're thinking about it, you know how that iconic comic book scene of like Batman smacking Robin?
You just smack
You
shit
just
out of
wanna
Robin.
No, because you know how like we put the have you ever in the other one? So instead of that, you know, like we say whatever the intro quip is, right?
Yeah.
And we go, welcome to episode whatever. Okay, so we're building shit.
Okay, we're building.
G. Willikers.
We're building on the
man.
pod. I'm gonna restart the timer so we can start now. And
Holy shawarma, Batman!
Okay, here we go. The timer's going now.
Okay.
So we're
How do
starting
you want to?
out
How do you
now.
want to start?
This is a new podcast, John. So I genuinely have no idea.
Yeah, this is episode 0.
Quick, give me a comic book quip. Quick one. Quick. First thing.
The first one I can think is kapow. You know what I'm saying?
Is that a quip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
What's it?
It's like this shit that just pops up.
No, I know
that's
what-
not that's not a quip though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
G. Willikers Batman.
Yeah, there's a lot of noises.
Holy
There's a lot of
Willikers,
noises
Batman.
coming out right now. Like,
Well, we're doing the. We don't have any music, so we're doing.
what's
the,
episode 0?
We're doing acapella over
of
here.
the what is it? Panel Pals podcast.
The Panel Pals.
The Panel Pals.
Where we talk to you about all the comic book news that happened last week.
I'm about to punch Rob.
But my favorite part is to us it sounds low, but since he's all up on that mic,
That's like right next to. That's adjacent to our volume.
all right. So look, hey, welcome to the Panel Pals podcast. This is our
Panel Pals.
this is our comic book podcast. We talk about Marvel, we talk about DC, we talk about all kinds of comic book goodness here. I pressed the wrong button and went to black. Hey,
Excelsior!
G. Schmillikers Batman.
Okay.
all right. So you don't gotta do that.
Oh.
You don't gotta do that.
You would be
gotta ruin it
fired
like that.
immediately.
So this is for all the people who messaged us on the Playing Pod and say, "Hey, why y'all talk about gamings and then drop into WandaVision?"
That's
Or
facts.
"Hey, why y'all talk about gaming and then review Loki?"
Who
That's
said that?
facts.
Who said that?
Huh? We got
I
some.
wanna
We got
call 'em
some.
out.
Give me
it's a
names.
couple.
Yeah. It rhymes with
Diffin.
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 It rhymes with
Biffin.
yeah, with Biffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Griffin.
Ziffin.
Tiffin. Yeah.
Jiffin.
Oh.
With the J.
Yeah, with the J.
Piffin.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan.
Hiffin.
But no. I mean, it makes sense to separate. So now we have our comic book stuff
Mhm.
in its own podcast
That's right.
every Wednesday. Make sure to check us out here on the Panel Pals podcast. This is officially episode 0. Hey.
Episode 0. And what an episode it is to have. We have Suicide Squad just released
Nice.
a new Venom trailer.
Oh, right.
And what if might be canon to the MCU? The answer might shock you.
Thanks for the rundown,
Yeah,
John.
thanks, John.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
John giving us a rundown of what
Yeah.
we're going to talk about.
I like that.
That's what we're going to talk about.
So as you can tell, we're
I like the
ironing the
voice, though.
podcast
It's episode
Yeah,
0.
as it goes.
It's episode 0. There's
So-
going to be sound effects and stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to differentiate itself. We got some stuff.
Yeah,
we got
record
some
me.
stuff. So why he's doing that dumbass sound?
Oh, no.
Guys,
yeah.
Well, the podcast is called Panel Pals Podcast, and obviously doing our due diligence, we have to research. We're not stepping on nobody's toes.
Right.
We found the podcast called the Panel Pals Comics Podcast. They haven't been active since like 2012,
Yeah.
and their first.
Literally, the intro song is like this really funky ass
Yeah.
70s
How
porno
does it go,
music.
Rafa?
Yeah. It goes.
So
The
that's
guy's
why
like,
he's
hey,
doing
I'm
that.
Jerry. He's like,
And I'm Mark.
And I'm Mark.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like I'm Mike.
And it was like
Yeah.
a super, like a fat ass delay. I'm
Yeah.
Jimmy.
But anyway, we're not
Yeah.
here to talk about the other. I was gonna call them ugly. That
Shout-
other
shout to
podcast.
them.
Those guys.
Yeah, shout out to
Pioneers. So the
It's us now.
It's us.
Yeah.
This
We're
would be
taking
the
over.
this would be a multiverse, and this is the other version.
Well, I mean,
Nah,
do
I'm not
we
a
even
better-
do that
Or-
because like they're the Panel Pals comics, and
Well,
we're
they'll
the
be-
Panel
they'll be the
Pals
Silver Era.
podcast?
We are like the Suicide Squad. They're Suicide Squad, so they're the original
Oh, the shitty one.
Will Smith.
The bad one. Yeah.
I'll say Harley Quinn, but Margot
Is that
Robbie.
really the difference? Suicide Squad and the Suicide
Yeah,
Squad?
it is.
Really?
called
Yeah,
the Suicide
yeah.
And then we are the new 2021
So we
version.
were Team B approaching the beach.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Idris Elba.
I'm Shark.
I'm Weasel.
I'm King Shark.
Motherfucker. That was me.
Hector, who are you? Pick a character now.
I'm King Shark.
Damn, I don't want to be I don't want to be anybody on Team A. So
We have
Polka
somebody
Dot.
left on.
left. I
I'm
don't
Polka Dot
want-
Man.
I don't want.
I'm Polka Dot Man.
Peacemaker. That's what I'll be.
Oh, that's a
I'll
good
be
one.
Polka
Yeah,
Dot.
I would not be Polka Dot Man.
Bro, when
I-
he had the warts on his face, I almost wanted to throw up.
Dude. All right,
Wait,
we'll talk. Hold on.
wait.
That was so
Real
gross.
quick, we'll get into it right
Yeah.
now. But if we're gonna pick who's who on the Suicide Squad, you're Peacemaker for sure.
Yes, Alex is definitely Peacemaker.
You're for sure
Alex is
Peacemaker.
definitely
You is
hands down.
not
Fidel
Idris Elba.
Castro over here is calling me Peacemaker.
I feel like
No, you're definitely
I feel like this.
Peacemaker.
I feel like I'd be Bloodshot, and then you would
Well, his
be
name is Bloodsport. first of all.
Bloodsport. I'd be Bloodsport.
You become shot. Oh, that's who you. That's it.
See, and that's why you're Peacemaker. It's like because you know how they say they're the same, like they're the same, but you're a little more extreme. So like you're Peacemaker.
Imagine the audacity. I'm done. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Hey, welcome.
Maybe that's a
Take care, guys. What the fuck?
'Cause, like,
He's,
is
he's
this?
definitely King Shark though. 100%.
You're definitely King Shark.
Shark. Yeah.
You're
What were you
lovable
gonna say?
and a jackass.
And always hungry.
Hand.
I was gonna say that the audacity to pick for you to pick yourself as a Bloodsport.
Only because of that. Only because of that comparison.
What's funny is that I called myself Bloodsport right off rip, and you didn't say nothing about that one.
Well, I mean, I just kind of saw it as like the leader, and I mean, technically you are.
Well, you are like that's what I'm saying. You're technically
And
the
but you-
leader.
How am I
you're
the leader? But
definitely-
he yells at me
but you're
behind the
definitely
scenes. Like,
That's on you.
You're
That-
definitely Peacemaker.
He's your rat. You know how Bloodsport was afraid of rats? That's
John.
your rat.
John, you're Boomerang Man. Whatever his name
Captain
is.
Captain
He-
Boomerang.
Yeah, you're
I
Captain
know,
Boomerang.
bro.
He's
How?
cool. He's funny.
And died.
And he
That's
died
big already, bro.
Spoiler
Only
alert.
Polka Dot
Spoiler.
Man though.
But
Pokemon
Pokemon
He's
Man
got
is
his
kinda,
own.
like,
He's
weird.
got his own.
he has a
battles.
cool power.
Yeah.
He has a cool power, but like just
Not
fucked
really.
up ass mind.
You know what's crazy?
What do you mean not-
That
not
shit was kind
really?
of wild. Like it was kind of OP.
He was.
So we're
mad.
It
going-
was OP.
So we're going straight into
But
Suicide
that was
Squad. I
not
see,
that was
right?
not a cool power though.
That's a cool
so
power.
hold on. So hold on.
So let's just start off.
So we're
with the
going into Suicide Squad.
Can we first do the who's who? Like I feel like we should just do
Okay.
that.
All right.
I'm John.
I'm Alex. I know that's not what you meant, but
I'm
No,
King
I-
Shark, baby.
I kind of didn't mean that. And then me,
Intro. Yeah.
Hector.
Is there a
Hector.
bird in here?
No, there's doing shit outside.
I hope not.
Oh, did I give you squeaking?
The gray one is Hector. The sun is Rafa.
All right, look, man. So Suicide Squad, the Suicide
Wait,
Squad.
whoa.
What do you mean? Whoa,
Why
whoa,
are
whoa,
we
whoa?
stopping?
So you're what's his name? Peacemaker.
I guess.
Can we at least intro the shit before we get to
Oh,
the
I'm sorry.
comment?
I'm
That's
sorry.
what he's doing.
My bad.
Yeah, you are King Shark.
Yeah.
All right.
Hand.
So the Suicide Squad, the new movie came out, directed by James Gunn. A lot of hype behind this one,
Yes, yes.
especially because the first Suicide Squad was less than
It
good.
sucked ass.
But it got, I was going to say a Grammy. It got an Oscar.
They won an Oscar.
So it is an Oscar
it did.
award-winning movie, regardless
That's
of what
true.
you think about it.
That's
It
true.
won an Oscar
They
Okay.
won an Oscar.
for makeup.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Hair
exist
makeup.
anymore. It
Won an
matters
Oscar for hair
not.
makeup.
It matters not. The new one came out, baby, and we're gonna review it now.
Is it not canon?
It is.
Yes and no.
Asterisk.
Yeah, yes and no.
Yes and no.
I've heard more yes than no.
Well,
It's-
we'll talk about
we'll
why.
get into it.
But we're gonna review it. This will be a spoiler
Riddled.
riddled review. I was
If
gonna
it
say
wasn't
spoiler
already.
in spoiler full. We're gonna spoil the goddamn movie because we're gonna talk about it. So, if you haven't seen
yeah.
it, skip to the next timestamp or watch it and come back. Yeah,
It's on HBO Max, bro.
right.
Just watch
Or you
it.
can go to the
bro.
theater.
No
Take
excuse.
your pick.
All right, so let's talk about it. Not now, Rafa. We can go ahead and say who's
Okay,
who.
cool.
All right.
So you're definitely Peacemaker.
Sure.
I'm King Shark.
Okay.
Who's John? I would
I only
definitely
said-
say Captain Boomerang.
I said Bloodshot only because
no.
only
I'm
because
sorry.
of that thing, but I know. I'm
No,
not
you're
Bloodshot.
Captain Boomerang.
Viola Davis's character. That's who you are.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I feel that. Yeah,
Huh?
technically not really part of the
She's,
Suicide Squad, but okay.
Amanda Waller?
Amanda
Yeah,
Waller.
Amanda Waller.
Oh, it's a great
Yeah,
choice.
Amanda
I
Waller,
fucking
yeah.
hated Amanda Waller.
Me too.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. To be fair,
I
John,
could tell you wanted to say something. He was like,
I was gonna say, well, fuck you, but I kept it
to
in.
be fair, John, I was giving you Captain Boomerang, but you know,
No, I see that.
Amanda Waller definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Like she's in charge, but really has no power. You know.
well, she
But
could kill
you-
them.
No, dude.
But you guys listen.
Yeah, we listen.
I know. I
can't-
definitely
she-
fucking hated Amanda Waller
Yeah.
in the movie. Like 100%.
She
hated
can't
her.
kill them though.
Now, see, we'll talk about it. We'll
Well,
talk
I mean,
about it.
At the beginning.
That's also
She's
something I want to
in
get into.
charge.
Okay. And what about Hector?
Yeah, I have
Weasel.
I can.
Weasel.
I mean, I just said it as a meme, but I honestly don't.
No,
think
see, polka
Weasel?
dot man.
the flag.
polka dot man.
You ain't no Rick Flag boy.
Rick Flag, dude.
You ain't no Rick Flag boy.
Fuck no.
Honestly, I have no idea. Who
You're
Rick
the
Flag is.
rat.
The main,
He
the
was,
blonde dude.
the
leader.
soldier from.
Yeah.
You're the rat.
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
You're the little
weasel?
rat.
Oh, Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Sebastian was a
You're
MVP
Sebastian.
the whole fucking
You're,
movie.
you're Sebastian because
Friendly.
you're friendly
Hey,
and you're
cute.
useful. You're a little cutie. Okay.
Useful. What a
Sebastian.
Sebastian was
I
useful.
don't know what a way to describe him.
I know, right?
Hector,
useful.
it's like,
Tool.
fucking
Tool.
you.
Like a tool.
Right, exactly.
Very useful.
I'm Amanda
What a useful
Waller.
tool.
Right? So I'm here using your assets.
You are using it.
So I know
Assets.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and he's got
You
I
are-
do got a dumpy. You know,
he's got
what I'm saying?
cheeks.
You do
Don't
be
stop my
using
hand
I
it.
got
out
them
the way.
yeeks.
Your hand was covering my face.
Don't nobody want to see that. I want to see Hector.
All right.
I'll
Here we
say
go.
Weasel. Oh no, what's his name? The guy from SNL.
Pete Davis.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davis guy.
I'm not a rat.
He
though.
sold us out
Yeah.
and got shot in the
Well,
face.
not us. He sold out the A team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then you die.
No, who should you be from
I
from B
literally have no
Squad?
idea who the fuck I would be.
You're
Harley
Nathan
Quinn.
Fillion's character.
Unpredictable.
You're TDK.
Yeah, you're TDK. That's what you
That
were.
was such a fucking stupid character.
You're TDK.
I love how Harley Quinn and Flag were just like, dude, who the fuck picked these people?
Dude.
This shit was
Let's
hilarious.
talk about the movie.
All right, let's get into it.
We'll, as we go
I
on, we'll
said
land on a
Harley
character.
Quinn, unpredictable, fun time. I can definitely derail the shit out of, you know what I'm saying?
I am Harley Quinn.
I could give him Harley.
I am Harley.
And I'm cute.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know, man. That's
I like
really
Sebastian.
high.
I give you the Rat Keeper.
I'd give you Sebastian. Ratcatcher?
Rat Catcher 2.
Oh, I'm Taika Waititi with the heroin.
No, you're 2.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the second one. I don't know.
Okay, who cares? Let's
But
talk
he's
about
cute.
the movie.
Can we
Harley
just,
Quinn. Let's move on.
or can we just all agree that he's the Weasel?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I literally call myself the Weasel.
All right, hold on.
but-
Can you swim?
Then he's not the
Then
Weasel.
you're not the Weasel.
Oh yeah, Weasel,
Oh, true.
Weasel can't swim.
Mm.
But he lived. Oh,
Oh, he's
Oh.
the guy with the ball from the beginning.
I don't even remember his name.
the blonde dude. He
Yeah,
Was, what was his name from fucking Walking Dead?
Merle.
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 He's
Yeah,
a real name as well.
that's you.
Yeah, technically, his Yondu is his more.
Yondu. Yeah, he's Yondu.
Yondu's his
Anyway,
more
man, the
known
movie
character.
dropped and it came out.
Yeah.
So let's. How do we want to go about it? Do we want to say our opinions of it first? Do we want to just go into?
I definitely say opinions. No, break down that
Well,
opinion.
what's the movie about, Alex?
Well, it's about a squad of suicides.
Son of a bitch.
The squad of suicide.
Son of a bitch.
No, so spiritual successor / sequel / reboot of the Suicide Squad franchise. The story follows a bunch of like misfits / criminals / villains, and they are coerced or kind of forced, voluntold, to take part in special missions that are not. They're secretive. They're very secret missions. They're not like
Classified.
classified. You won't see Superman on these joints. You know, these are very like hush hush government ops missions.
And they
the-
expect you to die.
Yeah.
And they're also called Task Force X. That's
Yeah.
that's their official name. But everybody who like knows about them, they call them the Suicide Squad, which is at one point I think Flag said it was a demeaning
Yeah.
name or I forgot a negative name for that.
It was a
team.
negative connotation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the story, so the way they get these criminals and stuff to do it, because how the hell are you gonna get these murdering psychopaths to do what you want? They implant a bomb
in the
into
base
the
of the
base of
skull.
your skull. So if you don't listen, you get blown up.
But that's not the only way.
No, that's not the only way. No,
They
no, no.
convince them and say, "Hey, we'll take off X amount of time from your sentence
Right.
if you conduct these suicidal missions."
If you complete your task. If
Yeah.
you don't and you do not comply after you've agreed, then your head gets
You get
popped.
blown up. So
Yes.
that's pretty much the basis of the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mission. They got these misfits. Go fix the mission.
They have to go take care of Project Starfish.
Right. Which, if you
And-
guys didn't know, is a euphemism for butthole.
Thanks to John
Shout out
Cena.
Peacemaker.
Shout
Thanks
out
to
to John
Peacemaker.
Cena and
Thanks,
Peacemaker.
I'm playing my part.
Yeah, nice.
job.
Very good.
Playing
Good
my
job.
part.
Good job.
So, how did we feel about the movie?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun movie. It had the James Gunn stench all over it, which is great. So I love James Gunn.
Stench. What a way to.
It's a very good way to describe his style.
It is a very
stench.
Yeah.
It's a stench.
This movie was very, very James
Stenchy.
Gunn.
Yeah,
This was
'Cause
stanky.
You know how
it was stanky in a good way.
right? You know how
It was
well,
like good musk.
if you make me switch this camera back to you one more
Switch
time,
it
I'm just gonna leave it wide. All right.
I like when you swap.
See, I'm trying to
No,
over
go ahead.
here. and
Switch
he's-
it to you. Switch it to you.
Nah.
I'm done.
Yeah, but you could just keep it on
He's
your
gonna
phone.
say something in like
I
5
know.
seconds.
I know. Okay. Anyway, but so for those of you who don't know, James Gunn directed the Suicide Squad. I'm gonna elbow. the shit out of you. Anyway, James Gunn, the director of the Suicide Squad, also directed Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 on the MCU,
which were great.
which were phenomenal.
And
movies.
he's gonna do Guardians 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those had a whiff of James Gunness because
Stench.
he has a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Unique,
Is
but
he?
like dirty, grimy mind, like
Gritty.
very gritty. He has a very gritty mind. Now Marvel doesn't play that for the most part.
No.
They're very, you can get away with some stuff, but we have this image that we want to project.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
James Gunn, before he did like Guardians of the Galaxy stuff like that, he's known to do crazy slasher, over the top, gross
Yeah.
out movies.
Name a couple.
True.
Name a
Yeah.
couple.
He did Slither.
Slither was the one I was gonna say.
Which is-
Super.
That movie's
Super
had
dark.
some really
Mhm.
crazy gore in there too. So like he's really known for that style. So, but the thing is, when he's under Marvel, you can't really flex those muscles because they're trying to keep it in a certain family friendly range. But given him here, this movie's rated R. They gave him all the freedom he can get, and you can really see him shine and flex what he can do.
If I'm correct, the Marvel movies are like PG-13, right?
Yeah,
like
for the
around
most
there?
part,
Yeah.
This is straight.
This is
rated
a
R.
hard R.
This is a really
This
hard
is
R.
This is like
this
they
is
went off the rails.
straight like off rip. Once they get dropped down on the island, it is just gritty as shit.
The one thing that surprised me about the movie is that because I watched a few reviews beforehand, and they're like, oh, the suicide part of the Suicide Squad name, they really mean it. Like people die in this movie, and and going into the movie, and because they introduce a lot of characters at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about a couple of them here. I didn't expect so many to die so fast.
Yeah.
And that took me by
I did and I
surprise.
didn't. I did because I was like, I'm noticing that a lot of these characters are omitted from the trailers except for like certain scenes. And I'm like, okay, they're probably only going to show up for this scene. Did I expect them to straight up get killed off rip? I was like, oh no. Also, back to when you were explaining that the whole base of the skull thing. I'm very, very, very happy that we got to see it.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I was like, they keep telling us about this fucking thing. They keep telling us about this base of the skull thing. It's established in the Suicide Squad, but I'm like, are they gonna do it? And they fucking did it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so happy they did it, and it was awesome. Like I'm so glad they did it. This movie does not play. 90% of the people gone.
It's like Game of Thrones, but
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really-
everybody.
Everybody.
And
Everybody.
like,
Everybody was doing the work.
I know, Hector, you're saying earlier that you hate what's her name? The lady
Amanda Waller.
Amanda Waller. But like she kind of has to be like that, man. They're all criminals. They're all bad guys. She has to be tough on them.
I mean, yes and no. The main things that I hated about her, and like it showed throughout the movie, where it's like she said she would go to like extremes
You could tell
that
she
other
does
people
not
wouldn't
care. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I know a lot about Amanda Waller because I've read a lot of comic books and things like that. And I know, for example, in Batman Beyond, towards the end of the actual like animated series, she explains that Terry McGinnis, who is like a nobody who ended up taking the mantle as Batman Beyond, at the end when like Bruce is about to die and things like that, and like he's taking up the mantle, she straight up said, we got to a point where we thought Bruce Wayne's genes were too important for him not to have an heir, and this is before Damian Wayne and all that shit was introduced. Like we knew Bruce Wayne's genes were too important to get rid of off the face of the earth. So what we did was, when you were born, we implanted his DNA and genes into you and morphed your genes into an identical match to his, so you're his son. And like they went to these crazy extents to have always have like a Bruce Wayne,
perfect Batman.
yeah,
like
a perfect Batman always has to exist, because Batman is the only hero that will go to extremes to make sure that peace exists.
Right.
And so like that was one of their like secret experiments that they did, where like they found a family, I think this is the story, like they found a family who their offspring would be physically, great and things like that, or somebody that was like so low born or like nobody would give a shit about that they could experiment on, and then she implanted, her and her team implanted Bruce Wayne's genes to the kid. So like I know Amanda Waller will go to extremes, but in this movie they showed like the evil side of her extremes.
But the thing is, I feel like she would have to do something like that again because they're bad guys.
No, I mean I get why.
You can't, if you give them an inch, you're gonna take a mile.
That
Oh,
just
100%.
means that she's like straight ripped out of the comics. Because
She's perfect for the job.
Because she's just straight like, if she literally went to the lengths to literally fuck with some person's DNA to get the to have the air of Batman, then yeah, she'll use somebody's kid to get you into the Suicide Squad.
But don't get me wrong,
that is perfect casting. Viola Davis was great.
I think that like you're supposed to hate her, so they did an incredible job at that.
I
Like,
didn't
I think
hate her.
I definitely hated her a lot.
You're more so saying that it's like I hate her. They did a great job.
Yeah.
So
Like
it's like
I hated her because you were
you're supposed to hate
in
her.
all of the movie. You're supposed to hate her. She goes to these crazy extremes. She involves a random ass kid who fucking stole a watch. Like, who cares?
Hey, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
No. I mean, I fully agree with that.
But he's saying But he's saying like that's why she's so good.
No, I get that.
You're supposed to hate her.
All I'm saying is I didn't.
You love to hate her.
I didn't.
Yeah, you're supposed to hate her. I love that I hated her. I love that I had a reason to hate her. And then the only thing I didn't like is what you're saying. They're bad guys. They're supposed to be bad, but they're given such an anti-hero type of light in the movie, and I don't like that. Like, I want them to be bad guys. That's the whole point.
Right.
And in the comics, in like these animated TV shows, movies, like, they're straight up assholes. Like, for example, there was like a Suicide Squad animated movie where the Reverse Flash was in it, and he was like being a piece of shit. Like, he would do anything, and like they do their bad guy shit, and obviously Amanda Waller has to crack down on them, and like some of them will like go off the rails and do some stupid shit, and then she'll blow up their head or shit like that. Like, but they show that they are bad guys through and through, and they'll do some fucked up shit. So that's what I wanted out of this movie.
Well, the reason for that is because mainstream audiences, again, remember, comics, you can do stuff like that for the hardcore, but mainstream audiences have to have a likable character.
For sure.
So you can't have a main character who's just a piece of shit and you hate him the whole time, because you're not gonna like that movie.
And to be fair, I mean, look who got left. Look who was still alive.
King Shark, which was
King
technically
Shark.
like a kid, you know.
Yeah, he's like the cute little, not little, but he's like the cute, funny,
You know,
like
he's
comic
the
relief. He's
Groot.
Groot.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
There's Ratcatcher 2, who's just some girl who controls
She's a pickpocket.
rats.
She's a pickpocket who, like, that was your emotional connection.
Right.
Yeah.
To the movie. And then we had
Bloodsport has to
Bloodsport.
behave because of his kid.
And he's also technically the main character of the movie.
Yeah, he is.
Right.
Yeah. And he's super charming. It's
Harley
Idris
Quinn,
Alba.
yeah.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn.
Fantasy
She's
Harley
like
Quinn.
face of the
Harley
whole
Quinn
thing.
has been an anti-hero for like the longest. You can't say she's a villain anymore.
And she actually is one of the most loved
She did
characters.
do some villainous shit. Like,
Yeah, but she's been an
she did some-
anti-hero
she did
for
some-
the longest.
I
Yeah.
feel like the Suicide Squads is an anti-hero squad.
But they're
I mean, like,
essentially villains who are forced to do it. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their hearts.
no, I get
No.
that.
In this movie, towards the end,
And
it
that's what I didn't like.
swapped,
Yeah.
where they were like, well, Idris Alba, with the way they wrote Bloodshot in this movie,
it made sense.
It made sense for him to turn around and switch at the end, because from the beginning of the movie, he had that sweet spot. He claimed he didn't have it, but he did for his daughter. So at the end, when he made the change, it made sense. And when the rest of them followed him, I was like, yeah, I mean, they did foreshadow at the beginning of the film, I'm gonna make you a leader. So of course it made sense. But I'm with you. Me personally, I would have loved to see them do more evil
Villainous
stuff,
stuff,
because they were essentially a bunch of assholes. It wasn't like Suicide Squad, like murdering rapists, psychopaths, you know, with powers. We're just a bunch of dickheads who were just dicks to each other.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, look who survived.
I also
Pete
think just-
Davidson turned on them the second he got the chance to do it.
right.
There was
You
some,
know?
there was. I mean, like, also Peacemaker. Also, just his character was like really fucked up. But
He was the worst. He was the most villainous
Peacemaker,
one.
and
Yes,
he was on
he
brand
was.
too. He was like, I don't give a fuck for peace, anything, and he showed
Exactly.
it.
He said he.
My favorite kill is that dude was sleeping
And he's talking about
He's just
Oh,
fucking.
yeah, it was
Yes,
lucky,
that was
yeah.
so
I'm like,
good. That
yo,
was funny.
Dude,
Peacemaker is
Yes.
the shit.
So that
Yes, he
scene
was awesome.
That scene.
John Cena killed it.
John Cena
was
murdered
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
That scene where a little later down the movie, Rick Flag gets captured. It looks from the perspective of Squad B. Rick Flag got captured, and Amanda Waller's like, "Yo, new objective, go save Rick Flag," because obviously they think he's captured.
He said, "Kill anybody you see."
So they specifically give him, "Hey, yo, X everybody who you see in the way, get him out of there." They think he's caught by the militia. So that scene was some of the most funniest,
true.
like the best writing I've seen in a DC movie in a long time. Because you're watching it, and if you're really noticing, like the people that they're killing are like women, and like they don't really have weapons on them. If you like look
Hey,
closely,
they're so relaxed, just kind of hanging out.
You know what?
One
I
of them was
noticed-
straight up singing, and I was just like,
yeah.
Dude, I noticed. It made me question. First off, just that scene is just one giant dick measuring contest, which I love.
amazing.
That is
Yeah.
like
It
the
was
most
so
hilarious.
good.
It's like these two dudes who have like the exact same backstory. They're like, I'm better than you, so they just like showing all these badass ways they kill people. But then the one that made me question was like, Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Peacemaker. He literally took out a poison dart and he shot this chick
Who was like doing
who
laundry.
was doing laundry.
Yeah.
And I was like, that one felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
That one felt a little necessary. So when they made the point at the end, the gag was that they're the anti-militia, the ones who are trying to
They're the resistance.
so
The good
resistance.
guys.
They're the
Yeah.
ones who are trying to overthrow the corrupt government, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
My favorite at the end
That was
though,
so
or
good.
like right when they were about to get to that scene where it was like Peacemaker, he shot the bullet that exploded, and then Idris Elba turns around and he's like, that wasn't a fatal kill or
And he
fatal
was like,
shot, and he's like,
combustive.
just wait, combustible like
Yeah.
bullet, and then he's like nobody likes to show off, and he's like, well, nobody likes to show off unless that shit's like badass, and then Idris Elba turns like, fuck, he's right, and like that shit
Yeah.
made me laugh
That was
hard.
really
I was
good,
like, what the?
Like
That
the,
shit-
the chemistry of the Suicide Squad is so great. Like
Yeah.
the
It's
people
James
that
Gunn's
were left
writing,
over.
man.
It's just- yeah.
It's James Gunn's
Like,
writing.
We've been
Like,
saying James Gunn's fans here. We are James Gunn's fans.
Oh,
he
yeah, for
is
sure.
like ensemble pieces.
That's his
are
gag.
that man's like
bag.
bread and like he can
That's
do.
his bag.
If I feel like if he has to focus on one person, he stutters a little bit. But if it's more than one main character, he can
I don't
juggle
know.
it
I mean,
so well.
I mean, look what he did with Super. He did him.
But you can
That's
argue
the
that
last
was
thing.
both of them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a singular character story
Okay,
arc.
yeah, it was.
Like,
it was him.
It
and,
was
It kind of turned into an
Elliot Page.
ensemble piece.
exactly.
Yeah.
It
So
wasn't just about him. Even though it
ensemble
was.
pieces that he shines because
That was more like a
A
Like a
duo, like
duo,
a
like a duo.
buddy cop.
So
kinda.
with
Yeah.
him, he can tell. He has this ability to just tell a bunch of stories in a way where they'll make sense, where not one person feels overshadowed or undershadowed, and it doesn't take away from the main
it
point.
feels like a group.
Yeah.
It feels like a group.
Well, it feels like what James Gunn did is that they gave him the project. Here's Suicide Squad 2. Do what you want to do. He sat down, watched the original Suicide Squad, and said, "Let me fix what's wrong with this movie."
Yep.
Because he took, which you can kind of compare, Will Smith's character, which was
A
Deadshot,
Deadshot, yeah.
Deadshot, and then it's like, okay, well, let me get that out the way.
Well,
Let me
Asher's
pull
with
out
that-
Bloodsport.
Well, the reason with Will Smith, there was scheduling problems. That's why he didn't come back. So like he had
Oh,
other
really?
projects. So he could have been in it. There was just scheduling
Oh.
issues.
I wish.
I wanted to
wish
see.
And I would have
wanted
liked to have seen
yeah.
more Will Smith,
No,
'cause I
nothing
feel
against-
like
I mean,
it-
Idris Elba was
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, he was great.
But I kind of want to see what
Like that character's
what
potential.
James Wood could have done with Will Smith.
Yeah, James Woods. Let's see what James Woods.
I'm
James
guessing-
Wood is
Yeah,
also
yeah,
pretty
James Woods,
cool.
yeah.
I'm guessing with the success of this movie, because I'm already putting into the future that I think it's going to be super successful.
There's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
Suicide Squad 3.
I think it already got the highest grossing R-rated film for the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, so
And I've heard
because
it
of the
was
success of
100%
this one,
Rotten
I can guarantee that the Suicide Squad 2, or if they rebrand it as something else, still thus something Suicide Squad. I think I could definitely see a Idris Elba, Will Smith, like face
I
off
hope
type
so.
thing, which would be
I
fucking
would love that.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I would love
Well, I mean, they're skipping way ahead into the movie. They're alluding something with Peacemaker. So what's gonna happen?
He has
with
a-
that?
he has a
no,
HBO
he's having
Max
a-
show.
He has a show.
TV show.
He
Yeah.
has a series
Oh,
coming
he's gonna
out.
have it. Okay,
It's
okay,
gonna be
okay,
a
okay.
6-episode show, I think, from what I heard.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
James
On
Gunn is
HBO.
coming in to direct it.
He is.
Okay.
He's directing the first 4, and then the last 2 are up in the air.
Ooh,
So
shit.
that's why
I'm-
that's why that stinger at the end, he's not dead because he has a show coming.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, oh, it must get. I guess he's getting his own movie. That's what I thought.
Yeah, no, when
Nah,
they
he's getting
crushed
his TV
him, I
show.
was like, but his show. And I'm like, oh, it's a prequel. But
Yeah.
then when they looked at the end, I'm like, thank God I didn't want a prequel.
I
I
would-
wanted
yeah.
after.
Wait, you know there was a show coming
Yeah,
before? Okay,
yeah.
I
I
didn't
didn't
know.
know
It was
that. I didn't know
announced.
that.
It was
They announced it.
I didn't know until later, and then I found out it's going to be on HBO Max,
Yep.
which I will say this is not part of the hero scene, but HBO Max is fucking killing it super
yeah.
hard.
No, yeah, and shout out to DC because I mean, if this is a path that DC's going on,
Dude.
this is amazing.
DC. So for me, kind of wrapping it up for the Suicide Squad. For me, this has been the best DC film since I'll say Joker. Joker was
Yeah.
the last DC film that I felt I'm like, yo, this
Yeah.
is great.
I haven't watched
fucking
that
movie.
It's
You
so
should.
good.
It's
It's
really
so
good.
It's like
Yeah, yeah,
now
yeah.
it's a film.
Now, yeah, as
It's
far as Joker,
yeah.
it's more. It's
Ooh-wee.
not a traditional
It's not
comic
superhero,
book film.
yeah.
No, it's more of not
It's
necessarily
more
a
of
think piece, but
it's a character piece.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a character piece.
and it dives
I mean,
deep
I,
into.
like, I know all the origins of the Joker, right? And I know what this one kind of
it
is based off of,
don't
but
take it as.
but I know it's not like a comic book movie.
Yeah,
you know, I think it's like,
Obviously, it takes it does take a little bit of inspiration from The Killing Joke. I think that's the one where he's like
Yeah,
a
where it's
comedian
like,
or something
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
There's aspects of it to kind of keep like the comic heads aware.
yeah,
But try not to view it in the eyes of a comic book movie because
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is not.
yeah,
Mm.
That is, it's like if Arthur, if the dude was just Arthur Fleck and his name wasn't the Joker, and you had and they didn't mention Gotham or Thomas
It'll
Wayne,
be the same movie.
it would
yeah.
be the exact same movie, and it would still be fantastic.
It'll still be
And it
amazing.
would still
But
be
do they
fantastic.
mention like all that shit? Like,
They do.
Yeah, like
okay.
Thomas
They do.
Wayne is running for mayor. He lives in Gotham.
Yeah, you even see like a Bruce.
You see
a kid Bruce.
Kid Bruce.
and it takes
shows
place like
up.
in the 80s or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really I
still an
can't
amazing-
recommend
it
that
is
movie.
I will
It's still an
watch it,
amazing
yeah.
film.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna watch it again this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. I want to see
Like
that again.
so, like so it was Joker. Shazam wasn't that bad.
See, that was like a
didn't like
cookie
Shazam.
cutter, like
Yeah.
you know,
It was like their attempt of a Marvel
I like
movie.
Shazam 1. Shazam 2 is where I was like, nah, I'm straight, bro.
This is
Shazam 2?
Shazam.
There's no
Come
Shazam
out.
2. What are you
Is
talking
that the
about?
one with like all of his siblings that they all come
That's at
together?
the end of
That's
Shazam.
the same movie.
Oh, that is
That's the same movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck?
Yo, your mind split it up. I like the
Yeah.
first half of Shazam.
Yeah,
The second-
that's probably- yeah,
I
that's-
guess,
I mean, I
yeah.
also I enjoyed the first half of Shazam.
No.
And I just
Shazam,
feel like
the
DC
last half was
movies,
dog ass.
yeah.
They've just all been all right. Like
Yeah.
Aquaman was okay.
Yeah, I feel like they're really cookie cutter. Like they like
Yo, holy shit, that was all one movie.
That was all one
Yeah.
movie. But for me, it's like DC, the main inline films, the DCU films, have all tried to replicate Marvel and failed horribly.
Don't, man.
They're all right at best, but when they do their own thing, like Joker, like the Suicide Squad, this one, and what the new Batman appears to be doing, I feel like those are where their strengths are. Like they should not focus on cinematic universes, which is sad to say because their stories are fucking amazing on the
Dude,
comics.
DC, in my opinion, has some of the absolute best storylines in comics.
They have like some of the grittiest, like the lore behind all of these characters are dense. Like there's and fucked up. Like, don't try to replicate what Marvel's doing. Use the source material and make something new.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn killed it. Fucking killed it with this movie. Like it's Guardians of the Galaxy, but rated R.
But radar, which is great.
Zack Snyder's vision for fucking Justice League, whether I would have wanted to continue that because it was different.
Yeah.
It was good.
The
It was
shit with
great.
the,
I
the
liked
shit
it.
with the Joker, it was different. The new Batman, like, just take the source material. These characters are dense, very like not dense like stupid, but they just
No, like there's a lot.
there's a lot of really dense material for you to do your own thing. Fuck what Marvel's doing.
I will say, if they want to do universes, they have fucking huge, just single like characters universes. They have Batman and the Bat Family, Nightwing, the Joker. They have Batgirl. They have Robin. They have Red Robin. They have like all these crazy like. If they want to do a universe, they have the Bat Family universe. If they want to do a Flash universe, they have Kid Flash.
The Flashpoint movie's coming out.
Yeah,
and stuff
like Flashpoint, the actual Flash. They have Barry Allen Flash. Like they have all these crazy Flashes, and then they have like Aquaman and all his stuff. Like they can do these mini universes, and then obviously the big team up, which is like the Justice League shit. But like they have so much great quality like content they can make out of it. But like they're kind of just like fumbling the ball, which is why I agree with you saying like they just need to go their own path. If they have to make it gritty, cool. If they have to slap some rated R shit on some of them, cool. Like I think that's even better. But
they should, because the thing about it, and then, I mean, we have other topics to talk about, but the thing about it is like right now the comic book movie genre in Hollywood is
growing.
all PG-13.
yeah,
Like the Marvel is obviously running the world when it comes to that. All PG-13. Now a market just developed, and I think they're starting to, Deadpool kind of showed.
They're
And
getting
then
it. They're starting
to see is like, hey, hold on. Marvel has the PG-13 on lock, the family-friendly, with pseudo dark tones. But there's a market now that's developing for different and rated R, more adult-themed violence and all this good stuff. Logan was Logan.
Boy,
Deadpool,
I love
Logan.
Like, and those are
Shit.
people's favorite films.
It's one of the best superhero movies I've seen.
I agree with you. So it's like, yes, I think they're starting to finally fucking realize, hey man, we don't need to do that. We can look at the Suicide Squad.
right,
Look at
exactly.
this R-rated. I believe the new Batman's going to be R-rated.
think
Like
so, yeah.
we can hit the adults, and we can share this space, and we'll handle the up here on rated R. Y'all keep having that Disney shit. We're up here on Warner Bros. shit, on HBO Max shit.
Even like the MCU stuff, like it's not. They don't say fuck and you don't see blood, but like even the material that they talk about is very, very like.
But it's very
It's different, yeah.
clean
But I think
and
like
proper,
no,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
They do it in the very Disney way.
Yeah.
But I feel like another thing is that the majority of the fan base is like somewhat our age. So they're understanding that like the majority of the audiences are growing up. They want to see some more thought-provoking shit. I feel like.
Also, guys, kids like seeing some crazy shit too.
Kids
They're
love
gonna
seeing
shouldn't.
I'm pretty sure kids
Hey,
are
I
loving the
loved
Suicide
300
Squad.
growing up. Remember 300?
300.
I mean, yeah, they
Man.
also
So-
play like crazy shit like Call of Duty and things like that. Like they
Yeah.
see.
And
So
every-
Ariana
I feel like,
Grande is talking about booty hole sex on
Exactly.
Tuesdays or whatever on
So-
Fortnite. So
Like that one
Yeah.
kid playing Call of Duty.
But-
I
I liked it. You liked it.
it was fantastic. Yeah, I
Rafa,
loved
you
it.
liked it.
I did.
Hector.
The only thing,
go ahead.
sorry, I only have one small little gripe with the movie, is that the Thinker didn't really do much. He was just kind of there.
Who? The Thinker?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was gonna play more of a role.
It's more of a plot device.
Yeah.
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 But you know,
Which isn't the worst like case of plot device I've ever seen.
yeah,
So I was okay with
I
it.
didn't have no real
I have
big problem with it. but-
one grape.
What?
They killed Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
I will say
But
they
he
killed a lot
wanted
of
to die.
characters. Yeah.
Remember, like that was his whole thing. He
But
wanted
no,
to die.
no. See,
He did want
as
to.
far as the film, it's like you could tell
But
he's
also
like, I
what-
fucking hate myself. And then he finally did a thing, and he's like, fuck yes. Like he's validated. He's
Yeah,
like,
that,
yes.
that was funny though.
And then no, but I
That's
love
the
that.
joke.
I loved it, and
Yeah.
that's the joke. He's finally validated. He's like, and you could tell he wanted to live. Fucking boom, dead.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it, I like Polka Dot
he
Man.
was, I liked him a lot
I was
too.
like, yo,
but also, what kind of life was that, bro?
That was horrible. That was horrible.
club scene. Did you see
Yes,
that?
the club,
His
yes.
mom was
like
dancing with
he's
her.
so traumatized by his mom that all he sees is his mom.
Yeah.
That's what kind of life is that?
Yeah,
bro?
that's not a way to
that
live.
was fucking
yeah.
hilarious. So whoever that woman actress is, shout out to her, bro.
Dude, she
She
fucking
was- she
killed
went
it.
in.
She
Polka Dot
fucking
Man
killed it
and
with
she's,
everyone.
When she became the starfish at
That
the
shit
end.
was
Yeah.
funny.
Fam, that
Especially
was-
with like, you know what would trip me out was when he like chopped off her leg and you saw like actual foot like bone and shit. I was like,
they worked really
"Oh."
hard at that.
And then it
Yeah.
went and turned around to the Starro and he was like
And-
missing a whole like limb. I was
Dude.
like, what?
Polka Dot Man, OP as fuck.
He is OP.
He was really
I
OP.
feel
super
so
OP.
bad.
I think that's why they got rid of him.
They was like, this fight would not last more than
It's
2
like
seconds.
it's like Captain Marvel, like that level of OP, because he'll just melt anything apparently. So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you have to save him or get rid of him.
I
So
will say though, Sebastian MVP.
oh
of the
yeah,
entire
1000%.
But to go back to it, I liked it. It's good, not great for me. It was
Okay.
like, yeah, it was definitely better than the first one, 100%. But yeah, I wasn't like super in love with the movie.
Okay.
I thought it was great. I had a good time
I had
watching it.
fantastic. I want to
I'm-
watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
For 1000%.
Also, apparently that star thing is an actual thing in the comics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Star-
I
Starro,
I did not know that.
yeah, Star Lord.
His name is Starro the
Starro.
Conqueror. or
Starro the
something.
Conqueror. Yeah.
Starro.
He's like an alien race who. It's weird because they attach to the face, but in the comics, it's like
It's
a
up the
giant
butt?
star that attaches to your chest, and it like takes over your
butt.
your mind.
Butt, right in the
So
butt.
it's canon. Like it's on.
Yeah,
there.
it was
Yeah.
I
That's a cool
I
thing.
could be wrong, but this is the first time I saw it was in the animated Justice League
Mhm.
show with like Superman, and Superman kept it in his
But
Solitude. What is it? Fortress of Solitude? As like a caged animal because it was like so strong and powerful. And then I forgot. It's like the Thanos of that universe.
I think the Justice League kept trouble
Darkseid?
with Sorrow.
Yeah, no, it's the
Apocalypse?
guy.
Darkseid?
No, the other guy. He was like he's yellow. He's the owner
Oh.
of the War World.
It's not Darkseid.
No.
it's not Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Oh, it is
No,
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is X-Men.
Yeah, Apocalypse is actually.
My dumbass.
It's not Darkseid.
I think it is Darkseid.
No, Darkseid is he's part of the
Sinestro.
underworld.
Oh.
I'm talking about the
Oh,
War
it's
World.
Mephisto.
Oh fuck.
God, dude,
Anyways,
fuck
if
you.
you comic book
First
has know what
name.
I'm talking about, yeah. Like I think he released, at least in the animated series,
He
he
released
released the
Star-Lord?
Starro, yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
want a Starro plushie. That's all I'm.
That's
and,
it-
and
it's-
in
I definitely don't.
closing,
That shit was too
It
much.
in
disgusted me. I
closing,
don't want
Yeah.
to see it.
I want a Starro plushie.
No, a giant plushie with a lot of smaller
Or like
Star
a
Wars
pillow.
plushies on the
Dude,
inside.
okay,
that you can
that
pull
shit
out.
was gross. You know that phobia of like holes in hands and
That
shit? When he
trypophobia?
fucking like opened
yeah,
his
that
armpit,
was
I was
nasty.
like, ugh. Me and my sister were watching it at like 12 a.m.
That's
That
it.
shit was, we both fucking like grossed
say
out.
full.
Especially all the fucking little like pimple bumps on the fucking star. I was like,
It's a
ugh.
star. It's a
starfish.
It's a
No, I get it,
starfish.
but that shit was gross as fuck.
I want a Starro pillow. Be like that.
Yeah, a Star Wars pillow. That's a really big one, and inside there's little Star Wars pillows. You
keep
pull
saying
out.
like
Star
a
Wars.
zipper, like a zipper, not the actual holes, because that'd be gross.
No, it's a hole. And you pull
And
out-
like
you
I'm a
put your
loose
head on
son.
it, and it just
Yeah.
shoots out a bunch of stuff on the side.
So every time you lay
yeah.
down, just
yeah,
a bunch.
exactly.
All right, man. Let's talk about
more Marvel. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, Marvel.
Marvel,
Yeah.
make that.
let's
Yeah.
talk about some
Except
Marvel
it's
stuff. We covered Suicide Squad. I think we did well.
I
there.
give it a 4 out of 5, Alex.
I didn't ask.
Give it a 4 out of 5.
Cool.
I give it 3 boomerangs out of 4.
What a heck?
Hey, man, wasn't it so sad that Captain Boomerang died?
So that's why that movie's canon and not canon, because they essentially did that thing where they wiped out the whole first movie in the first 10 minutes.
They
If
literally
you really
killed all
caught it.
They literally killed all the people.
Yeah, everything that
Almost
related
all.
to the first movie, dead and gone.
Flag.
Except for Harley Quinn and Flag.
Oh,
Yeah.
They killed Flag.
did
No, they
die.
didn't.
I was so
He did
sad.
die.
Yeah, he
Rick
did
Flag
die.
died in that movie.
He did die.
And you know
He
what?
did
He
They
got
made
stabbed.
and they made a point
yeah.
to tell you he died because they showed that
His
thing
heart-
stab him in the heart.
die. Yeah, he did that.
But Harley's
Only-
alive.
only
But
Harley's
Harley
gonna
had to be
survive.
alive
But
'cause she's a
Harley,
staple.
yeah, Harley was already, she was already established as post Suicide Squad when she had her own movie.
Yeah.
So
Birds
they,
of Prey, yeah.
so
So she's
she's
just
more
like her own
continuing
thing,
Birds of
yeah.
Prey, not so much Suicide Squad.
Well, what happened to the other guys? They just didn't pick them up again. Diablo and
They're still alive.
Don't
So
exist.
they can maybe
Over
they,
there.
maybe they
Well,
bring
the
him
whole
back.
point of Diablo was like, I'll do this and I'm done. Like, remember, like that was his whole.
Oh,
So over
we'll
there.
see.
So
Over
he,
there.
I mean,
We'll see what
he did
happens.
his work.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
he's
See
good.
what happens.
But so
I
let's
hope
talk
that chapter
about
comes
let's talk about the other comic,
Marvel
the
comic
big
stuff,
comic
yeah.
Let's
tyrant.
across the pond.
Let's go over talk about. You guys want to talk about Venom, or you guys want to talk about
Venom.
Let's
I
talk
think
about
Venom
Venom.
first.
Yeah, Venom. So Venom 2's finally dropping. I think they delayed it about a year. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out last year.
Venom.
The new trailer dropped,
Is there-
which gave a
you
little
guys-
more
did you guys
insight. Huh?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so the trailer gave a little more insight about the movie's tones, the way the movie's gonna play out. It's a trailer. So it's fucking
Yeah.
did what a trailer
It
does.
advertises the film.
So,
Yes.
so
Not
it
wrong, not
looks
wrong.
like it's gonna be
big
more
oops.
of the same.
There's
of
big
the
moves
first
for
movie.
me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I will say, I don't know if it's because I haven't seen a good movie in a long time. You know, like not that movies are finally coming back. I don't know if that whole like receding of movies made me a little different in the mind.
Like you're just okay.
But I am looking forward to this movie. I laughed really hard in that trailer.
I didn't.
like
I did
really
not.
hard.
Oh wow! I was like, I don't care. I was
Yeah.
like, and you know what? And I thought I thought seeing Carnage for the first time would kind of like amp me up for it. But like even Carnage, something about him, it's on like it is comic
It's Carnage.
accurate.
It
Yeah.
definitely looks
But
like
just
Carnage.
something about it, I'm just like,
I don't like the actor who was playing Carnage.
Like as an actor
You don't
or
like
for
Woody
that role.
Harrelson?
No, I don't like Woody Harrelson for the role.
Oh,
I do
okay.
not like
I don't
him at
feel
all.
like
I was
he
about to
fits.
start
Yeah,
throwing
does
I
not.
was gonna jump
Yeah, I
over.
know.
Yeah.
I
he's
feel
amazing.
like he does, but I don't know.
No,
There's
for-
just something
I-
about
No,
it.
I love Woody Harrelson. Like as an actor, I think he's fucking phenomenal. But for this role, I don't think he fits.
Who would
whatsoever.
you have
See
in,
White Man
for
Can't Jump?
Carnage?
I honestly don't know, to be honest.
Oh.
But
I
like,
got Jim
if you're
Carrey
gonna
on
tell
that.
me, if
Jim Carrey could fit.
he could kind of do it,
Yeah, I
especially
think-
because of the Cable Guy, like,
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
it's that level of psychopath.
Yeah.
So like I can see it,
Woody
but
Harrelson could do it.
No, I'm not.
I'm not privy
I
to
want him
as
to
well.
prove me wrong.
I'm just.
But face value, I
Barbie.
don't like him.
I don't know, man. And also, like,
That's the shit that throws me off. Like I see what you're saying about Carnage, but that's what throws me off. I
Yeah.
can't see Woody Harrelson as Carnage.
I don't know, man. It's just I don't know.
No, I
For
found
me, it's actually the opposite. Carnage,
like
is,
Tom
Carnage is that's kind of like the only reason I want to check it out.
Mm.
You know, I kind of liked how he looked. Venom was annoying in the trailer.
Yeah, he's like, whoa, that's a red one, like this and that. I'm
He was like, I want to eat people. I'm
but
like,
that's his stick. That's
I
what he did in
know,
the
but
first
it's just- I just
movie.
found it annoying.
I
Yeah.
laughed really hard.
I
I don't care.
I
I
can
thought
see
it was
why you
funny.
laughed.
He's like, come on,
But-
Tom Hardy, let me eat people. And Tom Hardy's like, no, you gotta behave, Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
some-
that's what I
Yeah,
like
I
about
know,
it
and I was
because
just like-
it's like it's such a different take on Venom.
It made me
Yeah,
giggle. It made me giggle.
Which
Yeah.
I didn't like though, because like, dude, okay, the two instances that we've ever seen Venom in any comic book movies is that really shitty. Not so well, obviously the
Tobey
Tobey Maguire
Maguire.
series, but I forgot the actual actor's name. The guy that plays Eric
Topher
from
Grace.
Yeah,
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace. Him as Venom,
Yeah.
and then we
Tom
get
Hardy.
fucking Tom Hardy, and it is
Which one will you
two
have?
opposite sides of the spectrum. I
Okay.
mean, if we're going for like,
Which one
Comic-
you gotta choose?
okay,
Tom Hardy.
I would rather have the Venom, not the actor, the Venom from the Tobey Maguire movie.
The real one.
Yeah, the real one.
Yeah.
Than this fucking funny ass Venom over
I
here.
would rather have Venom at the beginning of the movie Venom than what the fuck we got now. Because I always think about when I think about Venom in the movie is when he finally came out and he was just like fucking with that dude and he was like, you got all these organs that I could fucking eat right now. And I'm like, that's Venom. Like sinister, evil, like fucking I'll eat the shit out you. But now he's just like, can I eat that? No? Okay.
This
Can I
goes-
eat that? He's King Shark.
This goes back to the
It's
whole.
like Venom's comedy hour.
This is the point. This is the whole point that I've made with the Suicide Squad. Mainstream audiences need a likable character,
Yeah,
and
but-
Tom Hardy's character, Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock, at least in the first film, wasn't likable. He wasn't meant to be likable. He was kind of down. You
Yeah.
know that's
He
not
also
your guy.
really wasn't Eddie Brock. Like, he's known in the
That's what I'm
comics.
saying. So, because Eddie Brock isn't a likable person in the comics,
No.
Yeah.
he's a fucking dickhead. So
Yeah.
Venom became that that funny, you know, oh, there's the charm that'll get me to like this not likable person. So that's what they did for it.
Maybe it's just the trailer that I'm like.
And then
kinda-
again,
could be that.
because the first Venom for me, I wasn't too crazy about it. It was okay. It was mid at best. But for this one, I don't know, something about the trailer made me laugh and it got me. I really liked the dynamic. I liked the whole, hey, I have a whole symbiote inside me who's a killing machine and can, you know, take over the whole planet if it
he's
really
like, "Hell
wanted
no,
to.
that thing's scary."
But now it's like, I want to eat this, and I like that they're fighting with each other because at the end of the first movie they kind of had a consensus, and I like that it didn't stay that way. And now they're arguing, and Venom is like, I want to do my shit. You're not letting me.
I will say when it comes to comic stuff, Eddie Brock has actually become a huge character in the comics.
Yeah, isn't he like Agent Venom now or something?
Well, no. So, essentially, he became the king of the symbiotes.
That is not Agent
because
Venom.
there's multiple symbiotes, and
Yeah.
there was like a villain symbiote who like was like controlling all the symbiotes.
Which
and
was
then-
the one in the first one? In the first
Riot.
one was Riot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What color was he?
He was
It was
silver.
a
he
darker.
was what the king of the symbiotes.
No,
He was
right.
white and black.
What?
The king of the symbiotes, like the original evil symbiote, was like white and black.
White and black.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So in the comic books, Eddie Brock became the new king of the symbiotes, and like the coolest thing was like he could see through all the symbiotes throughout anywhere in the universe.
That's badass.
So like he could teleport from symbiote to symbiote as like himself, and he could appear everywhere. And he became part of the council of the Avengers. So he was like this huge character who could see everything going on in the universe and like assist anywhere and send the symbiotes to help civilizations, whatever.
Oh shit, that's
And
badass.
he became so crazy, and he like knew everything about the universe, and it got to a point where he started warning people of like New 52 bullshit, like crazy shit that was about to come, like cataclysmic big events coming, and he
Because of
became
the
this whole thing.
symbiotes throughout
And it
the
got to a
universe.
point where the Avengers was like, "Hey, you are so important to our cause. Do you want to become part of the Avengers?"
That's wild.
And he's
He's
like,
like,
"You know
"You
what?
want a
I
job?"
am too old. I have a son who he gave the mantle of Venom to, so his son is now becoming the new Venom, and he like turns into this big, you know, like in the PlayStation 2 or whatever PlayStation game of like the kid Spider-Man and like the big ass Venom, like the big
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
His son becomes that big Venom.
That's awesome.
Like the
Um,
OG Venom.
yeah,
back in
and
the-
instead of whips,
sweet.
he has chains on his hand. So
Oh, he's Kratos.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, so like
Man, I
Eddie
gotta
Brock
read
becomes
this.
this huge lovable character. And then he says, instead of me becoming a part of the Avengers,
Get
like
him.
Agent Venom. No, he says this other guy who has a symbiote, make him part of the Avengers.
So
Who is
Agent Venom is the okay.
Yeah. So it's like this crazy shit about the symbiotes, but like
Venom is
Eddie
all
Brock,
over the place.
Eddie
right.
Brock and Venom is he was also part of the Guardians of the Galaxy at one point.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
right.
Fuck.
You're right.
So Venom as a character and any of the symbiotes are like super important.
Yeah.
So like that's why like I want more for Venom.
Didn't Ghost Rider also get the symbiote at one time?
Yeah, Ghost Rider was also symbiote. He was also the Herald of Galactus.
Yeah. See.
So he took like the Silver Surfer's role.
What a fucking crazy
What
a-
life that,
what a-
that symbiote led.
What's his name? Fucking the guy, the Punisher. Well, this is super side note, but he was also Thanos's like one of his horsemen, like his lead horseman who
The
like
Punisher was a horseman
Yeah,
for
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah, and Thanos. The
you gotta
Punisher
do is
also
just
went
lose.
back in time to like find Thanos' baby, but he couldn't kill him, so he raised him to be a good Thanos. Yeah, dude, fucking comics are crazy.
What the fuck?
Stay tuned for what
Welcome,
if.
Right.
welcome to the Heroes Pod.
Stay tuned to what if.
Definitely.
All right. What if?
Okay.
Let's talk about what if.
I want that. I want to see Punisher raise a.
Yeah, I
baby
want
of
all
that.
the
it is-
stories
It
you
is
said.
a really cool what
I
if.
wanna see
I'm not
what
gonna
if.
lie.
So what if the news came out? What if you don't know, is a show that comes out this week.
you're
It's
stupid.
Marvel's latest show.
It
What
comes out
day?
this week?
Yes, this week.
August
Oh, wow.
11th.
It comes out the 11th.
Oh.
So it's a little different than than say the WandaVisions and the Winter Soldiers and the
Loki.
Lokis, but it is canon.
Hmm.
Hector.
Actually, it
Hector.
comes
Here.
out the day of this. It comes out the day of this pod.
Wow.
No, because this comes out Wednesday.
Oh.
There you go,
Yay.
guys. Check it out.
Next week we'll review the first episode. So peep that.
Dude, that means every time we come out, we're gonna review the next. We're a week behind.
It's all good.
Know that.
I'm
all good.
scratching my thighs.
No big-
So
big deal.
to come back to what you said, in the comics, what if is not canonical. This is a fun thing that people do,
Not over here, bitch.
but not in the MCU because they decided to make it canonical, which I'm all for. I even check the tapes. I even said if they do it, it'd be cool.
No,
I wouldn't mind
we
it.
don't check
but
tapes.
I did not think it was gonna happen.
you're lying.
But they made it canonical because of the multiverse and what happened in Loki.
Which I think it fits. I
It
think
definitely fits.
Yeah.
That's what
100%.
I said though. I
Which-
was like, at the most, it's canon because now everything is canon because there's no
Until they say it's not canon, yeah.
I have a question.
Until they redact it.
So does it? So do those multiverses actually look like cartoons, or
No, I'm guessing they're showing it as a cartoon, and then if like let's say the Peggy Hill Captain Britain, I think she's not Captain America, Captain Britain.
Yeah.
If it becomes that good, then they're like,
No live action.
let's put you live action. I think that's
so
what they're doing.
it's not going to be like a Space Jam situation
Exactly.
where, you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
got the live action Avengers next to,
No.
you know, the cartoons like
I would
Space
be
Jam.
fucking-
Now that you
weird.
say that, I hope so.
That'd be weird.
I can't take it seriously if they're standing
wanna
by Lola
see-
Bunny over here.
I want to
Well,
see.
I think-
Space Jam 3.
I want to see animated Tony Stark with the real Tony Stark
They
with
play
Killmonger.
basketball.
with Killmonger.
Mhm.
Okay, but yeah, it's canon now, so that's cool. I'm actually looking forward to the show. Marvel Zombies, can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Still, that's
I
still my favorite.
cannot
one.
wait for the Marvel
But
Zombies
my
one.
only issue is I don't think it's gonna be as Marvel
It-
It's
Zombies
not
as
gonna
Marvel
be. It won't.
Zombies.
It's
It
not
won't.
going to be.
Although,
You're not gonna see fucking Spider-Man eat Mary Jane.
no, although
Or
If it does, dude, I'd be so happy.
I think it'll be if anything, it'll
it's
be
going to be implied.
He'll say it. I
You
ate
know,
Mary
like
Jane.
HBO porno, where you
Oh, yeah,
don't
it's on-
see
no, it's
it,
not
but
on
you
HBO, right?
see it.
Yeah.
Disney
It's going to be
Plus?
like that. We're
Yeah,
like, you're going to see
nah.
it, but you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll cut away like those old school sex scenes where, like, oh,
Where they
we're-
just
we're on the
pans
bed
to the
kissing
window.
and it just pans. It'll be like, but
You'll
he'll
see their
eat her.
shadows in the background.
And
Yeah.
no, and then
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then it cuts to
yeah.
the next scene. They're just on the bed looking up,
But it's just gonna be Peter, like no Mary Jane.
and his skin is ripped off because that's also what happens. He's just so in shame
Yeah, ripped off.
that he
rips off his
literally
face,
rips off his whole fucking skin and dumps it.
and he's just a skull.
Also, that comic super fucked up because he's a zombie. He has the organic web shooters, and because his body's decaying, his webs is his veins and arteries,
That's hilarious.
That's fucking cool.
and it's super fucked up.
That's
It's
super
disgusting.
And then I think, oh yeah, he eats everybody, and then Sandman is super scared. He's like, "What the fuck's wrong with Spider-Man?" And then so Peter does, zombie Spider-Man does what he does. He dips. The real Spider-Man shows up, like, haha. Sandman is already freaking out, and he's like, "You want to eat me, motherfucker?" And he stuffs his body in sand form into that Spider-Man, the live version, and that Spider-Man explodes of sand.
Couldn't he just done that to Zombie Spider-Man?
Well, he thought it was that Spider-Man. Like Sandman
I don't
thought
see why Sandman didn't just do that to begin with if he had that
Yeah.
power. Like he would have won.
Sandman. He
Would've won.
you
he's
can't
like,
really
I
eat
thought
him.
we had a rapport.
No,
Spider-Man.
ain't no rapport.
I thought we had a rapport, but you're a dickhead now.
We don't go far.
But-
yeah.
So what if it's coming this week? Tune in next week for our review on the first episode. That's that.
Even though the next episode would be
Yeah,
out when
yeah.
the first episode comes
Oh.
out.
Real quick, allegedly, the Venom 2 movie is supposed to set up the crossover between Spider-Man and Venom.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, like that's
It is-
100% like that's supposed to set
Wow.
up because Sony and Marvel have a deal, a contract where they can bring Spider-Man, as in Tom Holland, over to the Venom universe, the Sony universe, at any time.
And I'm pretty sure No Way Home is gonna obviously set that up.
Yeah.
In one
And
way or
you
another.
can't go. You can't go the other way around.
They're in talks of bringing Tom Hardy's
Well, we'll
Venom
see it.
too.
We'll see what
So
happens.
here's what's gonna
but
happen. It's gonna happen because
It's gonna happen
money.
and it's Disney.
It's up to Sony though. If Sony, because Sony's gonna try to fucking reach into Marvel's pockets as much as possible.
As they should.
Yeah,
As
But
they should.
yeah.
I think like
But
joining
Marvel
those
and
two
Disney are
together,
stingy.
they would both make more money. And
Yeah.
if they just put their stinginess
Don't you
aside,
remember they lost Spider-Man for like all of 3 hours and then
Yeah.
they got him back again?
and everybody's
Money
like,
talks.
"You
Yeah.
fucking need." No, I feel like it's gonna happen in one form or
Yeah.
another. No Way Home is which is crazy because it's supposed to come out in December.
Mhm.
No trailers, by the way.
It's cool.
Um,
I love that they're not showing trailers.
I'm fine
I'm with
that.
it.
I
I'm with
love
it. But
it.
I know everybody's bitching like
they can
"You
go ahead and show me
everything."
fucking nothing from here to drop date, and I'm still gonna fucking watch it.
My
and
guess
yeah,
is they're gonna
of
drop
course.
something in October.
Did you guys see the leaked pictures for the shot photos?
No.
I don't know. I don't know if it's
seen
true or
none.
not. Griffin, don't fucking play and fraud me.
This is not playing Friday. Can't do it.
But motherfucker.
That's
But I saw pictures. I think it was Kirsten Dunst was on set, who plays Mary Jane
I know who
in the
Kristen
OG.
Dunst is.
Oh, okay.
In the OG,
Oh,
when we were
didn't
youth.
know.
I don't know.
Kirsten Dunst was the original Mary Jane, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to say whoever the chick is who played Gwen Stacy.
In the
Emma
original?
In the original?
Watson.
No,
I don't
the
know if it was.
original.
I don't know if it was
The
Emma
Emma
Watson or the
Watson.
Oh,
original.
in the original. Okay,
But
okay.
like these cast members are coming back, so I'm hoping
You think? Never
that
mind.
they bring back.
bro, if Tobey
James
Maguire and
Franco.
Andrew Garfield come back, I'm fucking sold.
Dude, I would fucking
If
love
they're
it.
gonna-
Especially
they're
Andrew
gonna-
Garfield because they ended on a really bad terms.
No, dude, they're gonna do that WandaVision shit where they're playing different characters.
No,
hope
dude.
not.
If they bring him back, they
No,
have to
but
bring
this
him
is
back.
actually multiverse. That wasn't
Nah.
multiverse yet.
Nah.
It's like that one was like hinting towards multiverse.
No, they're like Tom Holland's gonna be like walking down the street. You're gonna see
It's like that's Andrew Garfield.
you're gonna see Andrew
He's
Garfield.
gonna play himself,
And the original Spider-Man, they're like ordering pizza or some shit.
What?
and he's a delivery man.
Tobey Maguire's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pianist.
He's like,
Because
"Pizza
remember how
time."
in 3 he was playing the piano and he was like in the black suit?
He's like a jazz guy.
yeah,
just
he's
in-
literally a jazz band
Okay.
artist.
No, it's pizza delivery. He's like pizza time.
That's all he does.
That's his whole scene.
And his name is Toby.
He's delivering pizza to that
Tom
girl.
I would be okay with that.
I would be.
I wouldn't.
I would be
If-
angry to the point where I'll smack the shit out of you
What's
wherever
it?
you're at.
What? Damn, I forgot his name. The original Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
If he just shows up and,
and
literally just says
this
pizza time, I'm okay.
done.
I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I would not.
Well,
I'd
obviously-
be livid.
Obviously,
I'd
the
be livid.
dream. Obviously,
I
the
want him to
dream
don
is three
the original outfit,
Right.
like
Yes, yes, yes.
his
Nah.
style.
No.
I
Their time
want
is
that, and then I
over.
want Andrew Garfield to show up with his bum ass
No,
outfit.
I agree.
Nah.
And I want
You
all
like
to.
it?
I thought the
it
first one
right.
was cooler.
I honestly think
Spider-Man 2.
in my order, it's Tom Holland's outfit.
I'll kill you
Obviously,
right here.
Tony Stark.
In your
Huh?
face. I'll kill you right here.
No, dude, come on. You
On
gotta think
camera.
about
you
it.
think
I'll cut to
the
camera
Iron
3.
Spider skin is top tier? That's
Yeah.
your Iron Spider
Wait,
skin?
no. His red and
his
blue
His
one?
Avengers. His
Yeah.
Avengers one. The
No,
gold.
not the Avengers.
The
So-
shiny gold one? Or
That
the-
one's cool, but I like the one that Tony Stark gave him for two.
with the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one he gave him for 2, that outfit is like the robotic fucking
Yeah.
regular Spider-Man classic outfit. That one, Tobey Maguire, and then Andrew Garfield. I liked Andrew Garfield's, but I think that was the worst.
I
out
would
of the
say.
I just
would
didn't like
say-
the way his eyes looked.
I would say
Andrew
Tobey
Garfield's eyes are
Maguire.
weird.
Tobey Maguire, top tier.
I love what I liked about Toby's was that the webs were,
overlapping the.
yeah. So they were like they were
was, like-
material on top of the. It wasn't like just a design in the web. Like it had actually like you can run your
was, like,
fingers
plastic
through
over
it.
it.
And
Yeah.
I liked the way that looked. I thought it looked really cool on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I want like that back. But that's why that's why
Also,
he's
it's
my
the-
first
it's-
Spider-Man.
it's the
So
OG.
nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, no,
yeah.
for
Tobey
me, he's
Maguire.
my first Spider-Man, 100%.
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's OG look. The
hoodie?
the hoodie with
homecoming-
the goggles.
Yes. No, the homecoming look. The one that the one he gets.
Yeah.
Civil War one. Right. Iron Spider.
We're just base outfits. We're not talking
Yeah,
about.
Oh, we're just doing base
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield, but Amazing Spider-Man 2,
I
not the
hated
first
that
one.
one.
Amazing,
like the
Amazing
second
Spider-Man
one
2 one was more comic accurate than the first one.
They
And
both
I thought
look
that
bum.
first one was fucking
The
ugly.
first one, they took their liberties with that one. I was just like,
That shit, the liberties, that shit. And he has no ass.
True.
Andrew Garfield has no ass.
All I want is first Spider-Man show up and say pizza time.
Ah, motherfucker! I cut
yeah,
to you
you
for
zoomed
that.
in on him for no reason.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man comes in a Spider-Man suit.
You know what?
Pizza time.
Here's the thing. It last closing comments. I would be cool if the movie if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire didn't show up, but if Alfred Molina shows up again as Doc Ock,
He is.
It's confirmed.
he is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
He's-
okay, then
he's
I don't need the other fucking Spider-Man to show up.
I do. I just want
Long
that
as
for me.
Doc Ock shows up, I'm cool.
No,
Oh
he's-
shit! Doc Ock shows up and he's like pizza time.
Okay.
And he has 8
And he has
pizzas.
8 pizzas. Yeah.
He only has.
It's a party time.
And he's like this with his legs up.
He
Yeah.
only has 6
He's like,
arms.
it's pizza time. I don't know. I don't know
Out of
his voice.
nowhere.
Okay.
Thank you so much for
pizza
listening
to the episode
to
0.
the first and last
And he's
episode of the
spinning
Panel
this-
Pals
and he's spinning
podcast.
really fast.
Shut your mouth.
Cut off his phone.
Yeah, I know I will. Thank you so much for listening to Panel Pals Podcast, episode 0. This is the premier fucking comic book podcast.
For your mama.
I don't care about no rock stars or anybody of them.
Yeah, we're
Well,
the
they're
rock
not just
stars.
they're just not a comic book. They do other things.
I don't care.
Okay.
Did I just say I don't care?
You did say
So
that.
anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. We will be back every week with more comic book stuff, and we'll review the first episode of What If next week. So
Yeah.
that.
Pizza time.
Bye.
Bye.
And then a pepperoni slice hits
Okay.
Peter.
Yeah.
Griffin.
Sauce and cheese is
He said
just
hits
flying
Peter
everywhere.
Griffin.
Hits Peter Griffin in
Peter
the face.
Griffin.
Lois.